When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about is something very interesting, why the word woman can't be defined. And the inspiration for this is the new documentary from Matt Walsh entitled, What is a Woman? And if you're familiar with Matt Walsh, I actually showed a clip of his in one of my videos where he was on the Dr. Phil show and he was talking to some Tea Parties who identified as women, yada, yada, yada. And he was asking them about what women were, like what is to define what a woman is. So it was actually fitting that he has a full-on documentary that I have yet to watch. I'm going to watch it, hopefully, so that I can get a good take on it and likely do a review or do some content based around that concept. But that was actually the inspiration. So what I wanted to do today was sort of tackle that question a little bit from a different angle, from a different perspective. Why can't we define the word woman anymore? Because if you go on any syndicated show now, you know, all these woke shows, all these woke, you know, podcasts and woke media outlets, woman is like a 4-letter word now. You can't say that, and you certainly can't define it. So why can't this word be defined? The long and dangerous road of feminism and the subsequent gynocracy that came from that has led us to a place where the biological answer is no longer clear, nor is it acceptable. Because those of us who are right thinking, that question's easy. What is a woman? A woman is a human being that is born with a double X chromosome, has female reproductive systems, okay, and a female, not only she's a female psychologically and physically, right? This is scientific fact. This is biological fact. She's weaker than her male counterpart. She's typically smaller in stature than her male counterpart, so on and so forth, okay? So we've gotten to a point in woke culture, in feminism, in all of these isms and basically the gynocracy, to a point where saying something like that is actually controversial. Saying something like that should be, you know, just the end of the conversation, the end of the argument, actually can lead into this big, huge debate about whether or not that's right or wrong, whether or not that actually defines what a woman is, whether or not gender and sex are the same thing. People would argue that gender does not mean biological sex, because they're saying now, like, the wording has changed. And that's part of the culture. The wording has now changed. You can't really say woman now. And women didn't really see this coming because women don't have foresight, which is another quality of women, right? We have more insight rather than foresight. And this kind of proves that women kind of marching along to the beat of this drum, and now coming to a place where they don't even refer to you as mothers, they refer to you as birthing people. You see what I'm saying? They don't say you were born a boy or born a girl. You were assigned girl or boy at birth. But assigned by who? Who did it? So anyway, the concept or the definition of what a woman is now something that's confusing. It's something that's convoluted. It's something that's complex, but it's needlessly so. See, women on a quest to be equal to, and in many cases superior to men, have caused them to vacate the premises, has caused women to vacate the station of being a woman. That's key, because women aren't women anymore. So then what are they? That's why it's even a question. Because women, through women's lib and like I said, the feminism, the gynocracy, all that type of stuff, actually put it in women's heads that the traditional gender roles were something that was 100% cultural, 0% biological, and that especially female gender roles was a product of a cruel and an oppressive patriarchy, that the gender roles of women were put on them by a cruel system of men who didn't want to see women, do anything, that didn't want to see women prosper in any way, that didn't want to see women coming up on their own, not underneath the leadership or the guidance of any particular man, whether that be her father or anyone in her life, any man, for her to come up without male authority. And really for women, it was said like, okay, women can upgrade and achieve as much on their own as they can with the guidance of a man. In fact, they can do more so, which is actually a lie. Women don't upgrade without men. And that's a secret that the feminism and the gynocracy will never tell anybody, that men actually upgrade women. Men spur women on. Men cause women to go further. Men cause women to do better. Men cause women to ascend to different heights that she would not have ascended, and when you say that, feminism will say, oh, well, do you think women are stupid? No, I just think women are women. And we, men and women, are each other's natural counterpart. So therefore, one hand would naturally wash the other. But under feminism, under the gynocracy, and this is why I go so hard against feminism and the gynocracy on this channel, because it has been the bane of female existence since its inception. It has been the bane of female existence since its inception. It has worked to eradicate women altogether. The concept of women, to eradicate her and destroy her on 3 main levels, okay? To remove her away from the station of being a woman, so that you can play with the definition of it. So that it's by telling her, it's just all been a patriarchy, a big scheme by men to keep women down. You no longer have to do that. And women have been trained for generations now to believe and to feel that anything associated with traditional womanhood, traditional gender roles, for women specifically, traditionally being submissive or being under a man and stuff like that, are things not only to be shunned and that are antiquated, but these are things to be looked upon as points of oppression, points of abuse, okay? And basically a type of slavery that you should always try to avoid. And so in doing so, it has caused women to not be women. The only place you can go is to try to be a man. The only problem with that is men have never left their station. And no matter how gynocratic America becomes, men can never leave their station, because men run the world. If men leave their station, everything crumbles. If men leave their station, there's no more 4 Ps for everybody to benefit from. So men are actually the backbones of the civilization because they build and maintain it. Women simply take advantage and benefit from that building and that maintaining. Because what a woman is supposed to do is not pour into that building and maintaining. She's supposed to pour into the man that's building and maintaining. That's her job, not to join in the building and the maintaining, because she's not psychologically built for that. Neither is she physically built for it. Right? So what feminism and the gynocracy have effectively done is they have removed women from the station of women, okay, and actually replaced them with biological men to look like women. Now, here's the deal. They have sought to destroy or distort the concept of women in all three areas. And when I say three areas, I am specifically talking about biology, culture, and environment. Okay. So the first thing that they attacked wasn't the biology, it was the culture, right? The gender roles became antiquated and eventually associated, like I said, with concepts of oppression, forms of abuse, and forms of slavery. Okay. Then the concept of women was attacked. So that was the cultural attack. The gender roles themselves was saying that, but that's cultural. It doesn't have any basis in fact or biology or anything like that. You're only doing that because we grew up like that, or we were told that women are supposed to act a certain way, girls are supposed to act a certain way. All of this is just a big thing from the patriarchy to keep women in a certain place, to keep us from striving, to keep us from actually evolving, right? So that was the cultural attack. Then it moved from a cultural attack to a biological attack, okay? The concept of women was attacked biologically, which coupled with the simultaneous rise of the alphabet community's ideology with an emphasis on transgenderism. Now, why is that important? Because that moved biological men into the female space that was vacated by women. It was important to get women out of the space so that it can be vacant. You can't, two things can't occupy the same space at the same time, right? So you have to vacate a space to occupy it with something else. So make women vacate the space of women by telling them this is a bad thing, this is a horrible thing, you don't need to do this, and then put biological men in that place that take on the traditionally female looks and behaviors, right? That's the thing. They take on the quality of femininity while feigning ignorance about what femininity is. Ain't that something? They take on the qualities of femininity while at the same time feigning ignorance about what femininity is. If you ask them direct, there is no definition. But when you wanted to go from living and appearing and having people regard you as a man, you began to do so as a woman. And then what did you change? You changed your hair. You got wigs. You put makeup on. You put dresses on. You put heels on. You raised your voice an octave or two. You got a sexy walk. You started doing your nails. You started having mannerisms that were what? Feminine. That had always been associated with women. So that you could be regarded as what? A woman. So it's interesting how they fight against the traditional gender roles, the look, the everything. But then when you want to be a woman or you want to appear as a woman, you take on those exact same things. While women, biological women, are warned away from it by saying this is all just the trappings of a patriarchy. You looking sexy is just a trapping of the patriarchy. You know what I'm saying, having makeup or doing your hair or having feminine mannerisms or having a really high voice and and laughing, all of that is just something that men want you to do to keep you down in your place and all of that type of stuff. And then finally, they destroyed or distorted the concept of women environmentally. There's policy now. There's law of the land now, right? To remove that supports the removal of biological women from the female spot. Right? The bathrooms, the no gender bathrooms. Everybody can just go in there because you identify. Right? That's in policy. That's in writing now. When you look at political writings, they don't call you women. They don't call you mothers. They call you birthing people. Right? While at the same time arguing about abortion rights for so-called women, defined women. See what I mean? So that's why the word woman is very difficult now to define, because women aren't women. Nobody's in the spot. So what's a woman? Before we sign off, I want to draw everyone's attention to the Black Lives Matter petition. The link is in the description. We have a petition going on that is meant to hold the Black Lives Matter organization responsible for misappropriating the donated funds that were given to that organization that was supposed to go to the upliftment and the help of Black communities, Black families. And it did not. It went in their pockets. It went into mansions and fancy living. So we're holding them accountable. Once again, the link is in the description for the petition. Please sign it. Please share it. Please contribute if you can to that petition so that we can hold Black Lives Matter accountable. I want you guys to sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this question. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.